Hi, it's Martha. I have some picture books to show you today that I've read recently and really liked. I think you'll like them too, and they're recent arrivals at the library, so maybe you haven't seen them yet. The first one is Sugar in Milk, and it's the story of an immigrant family. They've come to a new country, and the young girl is feeling out of place and lonely. She's not sure if she can make new friends, and her auntie tells her the story of an old Persian legend about a group of people who have moved to a new country, and the king of the new country shows them a glass of milk and says, "Our country is as full as this glass of milk. There's no room for anyone else." And the leader of the group of people shows the king that a spoonful of sugar will still fit into the milk. And they understand from that more people just sweetens life, and the diversity and differences and new things are always a good thing to accept. And this helps the young girl feel more open about being in her new country and making new friends. A very nice story. This one is A Peek at Beaks, Tools Birds Use. And it asks questions like, what kind of bird has a beak shaped like a straw? And then it tells the answers. And all the different beaks on different birds are shaped like our human tools, and they're used in different ways by the birds. And it has beautiful collage-style illustrations that are kind of whimsical but also realistic. So a very nice, simple nature book that tells all about birds and their beaks. June Almeida, Virus Detective, is a picture book biography about a woman who was the very first person who, by using a powerful microscope, was able to identify the human coronavirus, which is the type of virus that we're struggling with right now with COVID-19. And this happened back in 1964. She was the first person to identify in a microscope the difference about this virus and to figure out, and they called it a coronavirus because corona means crown, and it looks like there's sort of a crown around each little virus speck. So a wonderful story of a young woman who was so interested in science. And of course, her groundbreaking work in discovering that coronavirus way back in the 1960s is helping scientists even today figure out the COVID-19 virus. So this one is Be a Tree, Be a Tree. And it talks about how human beings are like trees. We stand tall, and our spine is like our trunk, and our skin is like the bark of a tree, and the nutrients that are flowing through us are like the nutrients flowing through the heartwood of a tree. And she also talks about how trees in a forest support and help each other, and even send messages to each other, and feed each other in times of need. And she talks about how people in a community of humans can do the same thing, be like a forest. So a good book to think about how we're like trees and how we can be like a forest in the community. And in the back, there are some resources about saving trees and protecting trees, and also some resources about being more community-minded and how to help other people in a community. The Wisdom of Trees, How Trees Work Together to Form a Natural Kingdom, is a little bit longer of a science book. It really tells about how trees do communicate with each other. Scientists have discovered that through their root systems, and even just miles and miles away from each other, the trees are communicating danger or helping each other, and this is talking about that. And finally, A Forest in the City. This is also a little bit of a longer picture book and talks about how cities can create urban forests, and how important it is for people in a city to have trees around them, and how it makes everything in the city more livable. It's good for the air, it's good for shade, and it just makes us happy. It also talks about how cities need to sometimes prepare for those trees to be planted in the city, maybe have special sidewalks or special watering systems to keep an urban forest healthy in the middle of a city environment. So those are some books that I've liked. Please request them from the library if they sound good to you, and we would be glad to have you check them out. Okay, bye. Take care.